yes. Let's go. It's draft week. Yes. Oh, man, I am pumped beyond belief. How's it going, everybody? I'm Peo Tom. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Whatever. Let's get out of the way. Because, guys, we're here, and we're still Super Bowl champions. If you are an LA Rams fan, we're loving it. We're celebrating it. And we're going to welcome in some new members to the LA Rams coming up. Not Thursday this week, potentially on Friday this week, but very likely on Saturday this week. We will definitely be welcoming in some new team members, which is always exciting. And the NFL draft, it's a time to celebrate football, celebrate the NFL, no matter what team you're cheering for. So it's exciting. But I am totally stoked to be going live with you today. We're going to be talking about draft needs for the Rams. We're going to be talking about a little bit of history for the Rams draft. Some of the other things for Rams fans to watch during draft night. And I do want to give a shout out quickly to a contest that the LA Rams are hosting that if you are an American citizen, you can enter. I cannot enter because I'm Canadian, but I would love for one of you to win that contest. But before I get started, I got to give some shout outs here. Hello, Drip Mix. You were here really early. Hello. Grandizer, let me hear you. Whose house? Rams house. You know it, Grandizer 12. And I don't have any dogs that live near me now. Hey, Coach Dante. Always a pleasure. Good to see you. We got Bowser Zilla, Super Bowl champs. Yeah, man. We got Willie Bowen in the house. Good to see you as always. Bowser, you're saying cornerback is number one need for the Rams. We're going to talk about that. Michael Tapes is saying we need to draft O-line. Another good point there that we're going to talk about. Willie, I pray that the draft an offensive tackle or guard, an edge, pass rushing defense man, then get a speedy secondary safety and corner. I love it. Here we need to draft a punter, safety, linebacker. Yeah, see, everyone's got their opinions, and I love it. But I want to hear from all of you, but I have a couple things that we're going to get into. And just a heads up, everyone, I do plan on doing this full live stream. We'll probably go an hour or so. But then I am going to cut clips from this and post them as standalone videos as well. So if you can't stay for the full thing, I'm going to get some segments on there as well. I'm trying to get better at that. John is saying trade up to the number one pick just to be sure to get a print. Yeah, thanks for the hot tip there, John. That's funny. All right, the first thing I do want to talk about today, and so we're gonna go, kind of segment by segment here, and in between segments, I'm gonna be interacting with you guys as much as possible. But the first thing I want to talk about here, and I'll just mention this very briefly. So I'm going to share my screen because sharing is caring. For those of you who are in the United States of America, you can enter for a chance to win a VIP Hollywood experience presented by the Rams and Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. I have put a link to this form in the description below, and it looks really cool. I don't know if you get to go in the draft house or something, but if you click on this, you can check out the LA Rams draft house. That surfboard looks awesome. They've decked it out in Rams gear. This, I don't want an ad. There's Sean McVay hanging out. That's a nice bedspread. Love that poster there. And we won't go through all 52 pictures, but I would encourage you to go to the Rams website. You can check out the Rams draft house. I think they're going to have some kind of cool, some cool footage for it. For this whole week, we'll see some clips. They'll probably have some celebrities involved, so that's something you can go to. Link to that is in the description below. Yes, yeah, Grand Design. So that's the contest I'm talking about there. Yeah, you can win a trip for I don't know how many to LA. So as long as you're an American citizen. All right, the first thing I want to talk about that's draft related, that's not the draft house, because I don't think you guys want to hear me talk too much about the draft house, even though every year we've done the draft house, we have won the Super Bowl. So I guess it's good that we're doing the draft house again with the LA Rams. The first thing I want to point out here is looking at the LA Rams draft history in the McSnead era. So, Sean McVay, Les Snead together since 2017. We've been, they've been commanding our organization and doing a great job at it. And I just want to take a little look here. If you go to the draft history, and I'm looking at Eat, Drink, and Sleep Football. So some kind of, you can look through this website here and you see the draft history. But if you look into it, I'll just summarize a few things that stick out to me when I look at it. So 4 out of 5 first picks by the Rams over the past 5 years, not first round picks. We don't have those, but either second or third round picks. 4 out of the 5 have been on the offensive side of the ball. The only defensive player that we've drafted would be safety Taylor Rapp in 2019. They took in the second round. So there's a very good chance that, the Rams will be looking for best player available in that third round. And I could see, I could see them taking a running back, maybe if he's really talented, or a tight end, or a very talented offensive line prospect. But that being said, I also want to point out in the McSnead era of draft, they have only drafted 6 offensive linemen. And let me bring up that chart again here. And I will point out that if you look at this here, we did not draft any offensive linemen in 2021. None at all. In 2020, we drafted one. Tremaine Ingram, who was a guard. So we haven't drafted a tackle in over 2 years. In 2019, we did draft Bobby Evans and also David Edwards, who, again, they're great, and we're glad we have them in. So the Rams believe in their ability to develop talent on the offensive line. If you look at the 2018 draft, we had a center, Brian Allen, who's our starting center right now, in the 4th round. And then they drafted a guard there, Jamil Demby. And then they also, in their first draft, they did not draft any offensive linemen. So I know that a lot of Ram fans, they really want us to draft an offensive lineman, but I do want to, respect that, maybe the Rams as an organization, they just believe in their ability to develop, undrafted and late round linemen as much as, drafting someone in the, the 3rd or the 4th round. But it'll be interesting to see. I also want to point out, we've drafted 6 wide receivers in the past 5 years, and we've drafted some really good ones. So I don't know if wide receiver is something we really need, and I think we'd only draft a wide receiver if someone fell that was just too good of a value to not draft. So that's something to kind of look out for. But I don't think wide receiver will be high on the Rams draft board. I also want to point out, in the 5 years that Les Snead and Sean McVay have been drafting players together, 4 out of the 5 years, the Rams have drafted a running back at some point in the draft. And the only year they didn't draft one was McVay's first year in 2017, where we still had the great tandem of Todd Gurley and Malcolm Brown on our roster. So I think there's still another good chance that we draft a running back. The fact that we haven't signed veteran Sony Michel kind of bodes well for that theory. So there's some running backs that will probably fall later in the draft. That's something to look out for. And then my final point that I want to make about kind of draft history for the Rams that I just found fascinating is that 8 out of the 9 third-round picks are still with the Rams. And the only one who isn't is safety John Johnson, who signed a mega deal with the Cleveland Browns. So this team has been crushing the 3rd round of the draft pretty much this whole regime under Sean McVay and Les Snead. And I really, really, am excited for this 3rd round pick at pick 104. And they have a better track record with third round picks than some teams do with first round picks. So when your scouting department is that talented, that's just a huge advantage to your organization that I'm very thankful that the Rams will be able to take advantage of. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Rams draft history? I'm going to take some comments from you guys before we get to our next topic here, coming in here. So let's see here. Grandizer, thank you for posting the draft house contest. LA Rams winning the Super Bowl is a big positive. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You want me to tell Ramelia to go to Rams house? Yeah. Me and Ramelia talk, but yeah. If I were to win, I'd give. Oh, Grandizer, you're too kind. You're too kind. You're too kind. And yeah, the question is, do we really need O-line? And I do think we will need to draft something for depth. Will we draft it with that third round pick? I'm not sure. Unless there's someone there that the Rams really feel is talented, I'm not sure we go O-line early. Hey, John from Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Tongue-tied. Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Good to see you. Congrats on your success on Twitch. That's really cool to see you succeeding on that platform. Just to point out, thank you, Troy Reader. He's now with it. Yeah. He definitely he definitely he's following Brandon Staley like many other Rams. What do you think of the 2022 college prospect list that the Rams have had meetings with? Private work and stuff. I know it's honestly been really hard to track, Grandizer. The Rams, because they do draft so much later. I think probably the most interesting one was James Cook, who's Dalvin Cook's brother. They met with him and a few other running backs. So that's probably the most interesting. They have met with a couple of punters as well, which we're going to talk about in a next segment. But we will see. Yes, yeah, James Cook. That was probably the most interesting visit with the Rams for sure. All right. My next segment here is talking about the LA Rams draft needs. Now, there's a lot of opinions about this, as we've seen from pretty much everyone, even early on in this chat here. Some think, we got to go O-line. We haven't drafted an O-lineman like in 2 years. We need tackles. Andrew Whitworth retired. I'm going to pump the brakes just a little bit on the O-line needs talk. I do think at some point we draft interior O-line, a guard, maybe a center in this draft, and potentially a tackle. If you've been watching my channel, I'm a big fan of a guy named Zach Tom at Wake Forest. I believe he's a prospect that can play kind of every position on the O-line. And I think the Rams will be more inclined to go for someone like that they can truly develop. I think they kind of have their 5 starters almost set. There'll be a bit of a competition in camp, maybe for that right guard spot. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with O-line. I'm not sure it's our biggest need in this draft, though. I do think that bringing in more cornerbacks and potentially safeties is something the Rams are going to prioritize this draft, giving guys like Taylor Rapp some more competition. And I know I don't want to turn into someone trashing Taylor Rapp, because I know a lot of Ram fans trash him a lot. The reality is, on a lot of other teams, Taylor Rapp they'd be very thankful for him. He's a safety that he has his highlights, he has his lowlights, and we all know that. But I don't think bringing in other safety help is a bad idea at all. We also have to keep in mind that Tyrann Mathieu has been linked to the Rams. I think the Rams are waiting on to sign him, because if you sign veterans after a certain point in the offseason, you are more qualified to get a comp pick in the following year that they release or something like that. I read something about it and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I do think that Tyrann Mathieu will be a Ram next year. It's just a matter of when. So that kind of eases me a little bit on safety, which then takes me to corner. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey, best corner in football, in my opinion, and in many of your opinions as well, I'm sure. And I think we need to, focus on, okay, so who would be next? Would it be Nick Scott? Is he kind of going to be our next starting corner? Or is it kind of, are we going to kind of keep in this rotational, assignment, assignments to the corner position? But I think bringing in extra DBs is never a bad idea. But I actually think on defense, bringing in more pass rushers to continue to compete, who gets to line up next to Aaron Donald and Bobby Wagner, that's what excites me. So I'm looking forward the Rams drafting some edge rushers in this draft for sure. On the offensive side of the ball, I mentioned I believe the Rams are going to be drafting a running back at some point. But I do also think that, drafting depth at that O-line position is important as well. This is also a talented tight end class that maybe bringing in a tight end, to develop isn't a bad idea as well. Even though we did draft Jacob Harris to kind of do that last year, but he got injured. Let's take a look at a couple of your other comments here. Hey, CarCast, good to see you, man. Yeah, we do have a solid O-line, and I just think a lot of people are nervous about losing Andrew Whitworth. So, yeah. Isn't Ramsey supposed to be a leader? I think he punched Rapp last season. Yeah, that got blown out of proportion. It happened. They moved on from it, and you don't want to see it, but it got blown up. It was made a bigger deal than it actually was. But yeah, I'm very thankful that we have Jalen Ramsey on our team. Trayvon Diggs, Diggs is a great corner as well, but I'll still take Jalen Ramsey right now. Oh, thank you, Grandizer. Yes, Zach Tom is someone that I'm looking for. I hope the Rams draft him. I really do. Or if we can draft him. That's always the thing with the Rams, if we can draft them, because we got to wait around a while. Okay, I want to talk about the final draft need, and I'm making a segment about this. The punter draft drama of 2020. The LA Rams longtime punter Johnny Hekker was released this season. He was signed to a big punter deal with the Carolina Panthers. The Rams brought in Dixon from the Giants, who's a veteran punter. However, this, for whatever reason, is like the most talked about punter draft class in my lifetime. And I'm going to share my screen again here. We got to look at this here. So checking out on Draft Tech here. So if you've been following the draft at all, Matt Araiza, he's kind of the big name at the punter position, but there are people that argue Jordan Stout is the better prospect. Ryan Stonehouse is another, all three of these top punters are phenomenal. They've had great college careers at the punter level. And it seems to me that it would be crazy for three punters to get drafted. But are the Rams a team that would draft a punter? I truly do believe they could. Johnny Hekker was an undrafted, undrafted free agent in 2011. And so all these years later, here we are getting ready for a punter battle in camp. And I'd be interested to see if we do draft, any one of these punters. And I also want to point out something here. If you look at this punter class in general, so like we got 6'2", 180, 6'3", 209, 5'11", 180, 6'6", 225. And if you go down to Ryan Wright, who, if you look up his highlights, they're amazing to watch because he's got a booming leg. He is 6'3" and 245 pounds. He's built like a linebacker. He's a big, hefty guy, but like it's muscle. And so I'm really curious to see if the Rams draft a punter. But I do think even if we don't draft a punter, one of these punters will be an LA Ram and will compete with Dixon for the starting role. So that's it, and it blows my mind that we've just had so much punter drama leading up to the draft, and not just the Rams. I feel like other teams who are looking for a punter are like, hey, this is a really good draft class of punter, which I've never seen that. You've heard of like, oh, it's a really good wide receiver class or an O-line class or defensive end class or quarterback class. I don't think in my lifetime I've ever been like, man, like this draft class of punters is just over the moon. Anyway, let's get some of your comments going here. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Grandizer. You're too kind. Breakdown Rams drafting in 4 categories: primary, secondary, auxiliary, don't need. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, Grandizer. But maybe like, so primary need. Okay, now I see what your question is. Thank you. Yeah, okay, I had to get a little click in my brain there. I would say the Rams definitely their primary need, most of all, would be edge, in my opinion. There's other positions you could argue, because we really don't need any of these rookies to be starters. It'd be great if they could push our current starters, but we are drafting for depth, which is a blessing for sure. But I'm inclined to think edge is primary need. Secondary, I would put cornerback, and then auxiliary, I would put O-line depth. We don't need a quarterback. I know some people think we should draft a quarterback. I don't. I like John Wolford as our backup, and it's not just because he gave me a shout out on my channel. It's also I like John Wolford, and I'm optimistic that Matt Stafford can stay healthy, and I like him as our quarterback. We don't need wide receiver, and honestly, it'd be one of those things. If we drafted a wide receiver, you're just like, really, like another wide receiver, and like I think a lot of fans were disappointed in the Tutu Atwell pick early last year. So I would rather we actually give, more attention to the wide receivers we have, especially guys like Tutu Atwell and Ben Skowronek, who were rookies last year. Let's develop them. We have, Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Word on the street is that Odell Beckham's coming back. So, like, unless the Rams really believe in one of these wide receivers that they draft, I'd rather not see a wide receiver get drafted this draft. But yeah, I'd love to know from you guys, what do you think the greatest need is in terms of draft? Let's see. Will Ramsey change his number to 2 now? Oh, Bowser's. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, because Bobby Trees is gone, and Ramsey originally wanted number 2. I don't think he will, but you never know. That's a really interesting question. Thank you for that. Oh, we got Edwin Rampage. He's excited for the Rams to repeat. Oh, Edwin, aren't we all? Aren't we all? It's a good time to be a Rams fan. Are we really going to draft O-line? We can get that in free agency. Yeah, and there's that. I think we will draft some O-line late, just to develop, because the reality is we didn't draft any O-line last year in 2021, and we only drafted a guard in the 7th round of 2020. And then with Whitworth retiring, Corbett, moving on, I don't think that going the whole draft without drafting any O-line is realistic. I think we have to draft some late just to continue to develop, and I think that's what the Rams like to do as an organization. A punter. The first thing we need to draft is a punter. Oh, yeah, that's I find it hilarious that we've just talked about punters so much this offseason. What do you think of Ben Skowronek as a depth piece? Honestly, Carcass, Ben Skowronek, I think, was one of the more frustrating players on the Rams last year. I never like to write a player off after their rookie season. Ben Skowronek had some drops. He didn't really have impressive speed. He had a couple of nice routes, but a couple of nice routes with some questionable hands. It's disappointing. However, let me just take a quick look. He was drafted in the 7th round. For a 7th round draft pick, he got a lot of playing time last year. For a 7th round wide receiver that's on the same team of Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., and Van Jefferson, Ben Skowronek, he got more playing time than Tutu Atwell, our 2nd round pick. I think Ben Skowronek will continue to develop. I think he's going to have every opportunity to develop into a starting wide receiver, an NFL player. But yeah, definitely, I'd like to see more of him. But again, he had a rookie year, and he definitely had his rookie lowlights. But there was a few good. I don't want to say like I'm not super optimistic he's going to turn into some superstar, but like, can Ben Skowronek develop into a good number 3 wide receiver? That's maybe his ceiling, maybe. Yeah, Ryan Wright out of Tulane. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't expect him to get drafted, but he's a hefty guy. Yeah. Oh, Granddad's, you're the best. Going in. Yeah, Ryan Stonehouse, Colorado State. Jake Kamada, Georgia. Jordan Stout at Penn State, and some other notable. Yeah, it's a stacked punter draft. It really is. Yeah. Let's trade Ben and Tutu. Oh, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I'm still concerned about corner. Don't even know who our number 2 is started with. And again, we'll have to look. That's a training camp thing. We do have corners like Robert Rochelle and Nick Scott, David Long, who can develop. They're still young corners, and I'm excited for this corner group. Not just like Jalen Ramsey, I'm always excited for, but the corner group there. So I don't have corners as our top need. I could see why some Ram fans do, kind of prioritize that as kind of the top need coming into this. But we'll see. We'll see. It wouldn't shock me at all to see corner drafted, in the 3rd or 4th round for the Rams, which is early for the Rams. After the Super Bowl, I lost all hope. You know what? Don't write off a player after a rookie season. Newsflash, I always say this, and by always say this, I mean like often say this, is young players can get better. And the reality is Ben Skowronek was a 7th round draft pick, and sure, he had his lowlights, but he can develop. Ben Miles and John Chenal are fullbacks that is in the draft. The Rams should put on them on the draft. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. The Rams have more so, whenever they've kind of needed that fullback role, kind of done what a lot of teams do and get like a tight end or a wide receiver in there. I would be shocked. Thank you for putting those names on my radar. I would be shocked, but I just don't. I don't necessarily see it coming. Yeah. Edwin, would you ever consider doing a roundtable with other Rams fans? I saw that the AZ Sports Fan does this. It seems to be cool, but as far as I've seen no Ram. Hey, Edwin, thank you for that, Edwin. And yes, it is something I have definitely considered. Part of my problem is I've just been moving a lot. I would definitely consider. I've considered doing it and plan on doing it. It's just. To be honest, it's one of those things I haven't fully done yet. Yeah, Edwin, I really appreciate it. I think I tried doing it once, and that one time it was fun. It was still, my channel was still pretty small at the time. Not that it's huge now, but it was significantly smaller than it is. But yeah, no, I would definitely try doing it. And yeah, I've seen AZ Sports Fan do it, which is really cool. And I love when he does that. So yeah, I definitely consider doing it for sure. I appreciate the comment. And yeah, I'll try it. You know what? Probably sometime after the draft. Yeah. Yeah, Edwin. I appreciate that, Edwin. Or Rampage. Rams needs primary defensive end, linebacker, punter, secondary. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'd agree with this. Yeah, we don't need quarterback, wide receiver, kicker. Is that how you'd rank it? I'd maybe put guard and tackle and linebacker in the secondary and swap out tight end, free safety, and strong safety to auxiliary. Now that I think about it and see all the positions in front of me, yeah, that's what I do. Thanks, Grandizer. Ben stopped over the ball. Is OBJ coming back? That's the question we would all love. And I think he is. I just think he's doing the Rams a solid by not demanding to come right away. But yeah, we will see. We will see. Watch this draft. Yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny. I still don't know why we traded Bobby Trees for dead nothing. I still don't like the trade. I get why they did it to free up a bit of cap space, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's one of those trades that I'm not happy about. And I don't think I don't think there's too many Ram fans out there that are happy we traded Bobby Trees for a stinking 6th-round pick in next year's draft. Especially when you see some of these other receiver deals going around. And yeah, I miss Bobby Trees too. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Can we get Jones? You mean Julio Jones? I think we can. I don't know. He might be demanding too much money. I don't think we would get Julio Jones. Just because of the talent we have, especially with Allen Robinson on the roster. Kind of similar skill set players there. And I don't think we have the money to do it. Would you like to trade Jalen Ramsey for a proven? I know you have. Carcas, you're hilarious. I know you're a huge 49ers fan, and I enjoyed collaborating with you. But Jimmy G to the Rams, I don't think is going to happen. You're going to have to find a different trade partner for Jimmy G. Speaking of which, though, that does bring out a interesting my next topic today is LA Rams teams to watch in the draft. Now, obviously, we need to watch the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and especially the 49ers, given there are division rivals in the NFC West. And the 49ers, there's the Deebo Samuel drama that I'm pretty sure the entire NFL is watching. The Seahawks, they're in a full-on rebuild. It'll be interesting to see what they do with their first-round picks. The Cardinals do have a first-round pick. And people forget the Cardinals at one point were the best team in football last year. They were playing at a very high level. Can they sustain it? That's the question that needs to be answered. And so, yeah, I'll be curious to see who they draft as well. The 49ers have been a team that have historically been drafting well under their current regime of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. So definitely going to be paying attention to them. And especially if they do trade Deebo Samuels to get some first-round picks, who are they going to take? The other teams that I think it's important to note are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers, because they're seen as the main competition for the Rams in the NFC to go back to the Super Bowl. I know Green Bay has had a lot of talent walk away, but they do have 2 first-round picks, so we'll see what they do with that. And I do think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still a good team. The Rams have definitely had their number the past couple of times we've met with them, which has been great. But you can never count out when your team has a great quarterback like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. So curious what they're going to do. I know the Bucs, they kind of have their standard set of draft picks, but when you look at their roster, they don't have too many holes still. They're still a decent team. And the Packers, again, it'll be interesting to see if they can draft, to help, their big budget quarterback now to, finally get over that hump and try and get back to the Super Bowl. And hopefully that isn't the case. But the Rams also play the Packers next year as well. The other final four teams that I think Ram fans should pay special attention to during the first and second night of the draft are the AFC West teams, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers. We play each of these teams in the upcoming season. This is a powerhouse division. We've seen Russell Wilson go there, to the Broncos. We've seen a lot of players go to the Chargers, our crosstown rival, even though they're in the AFC. The Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, and they just got a plethora of draft picks for Tyreek Hill. The Raiders traded to get Devontae Adams, who's he's a difference maker on any offense he's on, and on top of that, they were a playoff team last year with some good pieces on their roster, and so powerhouse division that the Rams have to play. And, we don't want to get swept by any division, and I don't think we will, but just, going to pay attention to those teams. They're obviously going to be competing against themselves, and when they play the Rams, those are going to be some big games. There's a good chance that, most of those games, if not all of them, are in a, either a prime time slot or that, that 4 p.m., America's Game of the Week slot as well, whenever the Rams play them. So excited to see that. Let's get back to your comments here. Let's see. If OBJ leaves, sign Julio Jones. We turned OBJ good again. We can do it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. How do you feel about Debo for Ramsey? You can't say no. You know what? I think we're good. Debo would be nice in a Rams uniform, but I don't think you would like that. But I also don't think the Rams can afford him, unfortunately. But Debo Samuel and Cooper Kupp on the same team, that would be something. Yeah. I don't think the Rams are getting Debo. OBJ, Allen, Kupp, Van, and Julio. Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we know you're messing. CarCast. Can we get Woods back when his contract is done with the Titans? That would be interesting, potentially. Yeah, I think his contract is still 2 years on it, if I'm not mistaken. But that's an interesting take. Hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I would love if we could get Woods back. And I think it depends how his recovery from his ACL tear goes for sure. But yeah, it'd be great to see Robert Woods back in the Rams uniform after he's done his contract. I hear that Stafford will go back to the Lions when his contract is done in LA. Interesting. Honestly, I still think it's too early in Matt Stafford's career to do that. I think he's focused mainly on winning with the Rams right now. He's just signed a massive extension. And I'm pretty sure he's under contract till 2025, 2026. Yeah, I have to look that up. One sec. Over the cap. I just want to make sure. Because, yeah, like he's no, not that. Over the carp. Oh, sorry. Over the cap. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So Matt Stafford is under contract. Yeah, he's under contract till 2026. So I don't know where you're hearing that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Matt Stafford will retire a Ram. At least I hope so. Watch the Chargers still miss the playoff even with Yeah, because they got Mack, and Reader. They got J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack and Reader. You know what? That would be the most Chargers thing to do. Debo is a wide back. Yeah. I think the Pats and Rams are the only teams into OBJ. Yeah, and again, I'm optimistic that OBJ will be a Ram next year. Yeah. The other Rams should take a look at their practice squad. There's a lot of potential players. Yeah, absolutely, Willie. And again, that's why I think that the Rams have the luxury of drafting best player available in this draft, because we do have depth in our practice squad, in our kind of extended roster beyond our 53 of the season. And like definitely, players that have been in our program have been working out with us and doing good things. So I agree. We've won the Super Bowl. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta take a quick drink here, guys. But cheers to everyone out there. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Thanks for tuning on in. And let's see what we got going on. Hey, Travis, Rich, good to see you. Horns up. I miss it too. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for next season. I mean, when you think of it, how many days are we till September 8th? We're getting closer. How many days till the NFL season starts? 137 days, everyone, where the Rams will take on someone. We know the schedule release is coming May 12th for the full schedule. I'm optimistic, though, that the Rams home opener is going to get leaked. I think that because every year that kind of happens, that the week leading up to select games get leaked. And so I think that the Rams home opener will definitely get leaked. And stay tuned, because I will definitely do one of my quick little vlog videos for how hyped I am for that. Yeah, 137 days until the Rams home opener. Yep, 137 days. Yep, because we won the Super Bowl, it's tradition that the team that wins the Super Bowl, they open up the season at home on a Thursday night. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. So we know the Rams have the first game of the season. Really curious to see who their opponent's going to be. I think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills, but there's a chance that it could be the Dallas Cowboys, or it could be the Denver Broncos, maybe a division rival like the Niners, like NFC championship rematch. Can we play the Falcons? I don't think they do that because they want the first game to be a good one. But maybe. I think we play. Yeah. LA Rams mentioned to opponents. I think we play the Falcons. Pretty sure we do. Let's see. Yeah, we play the Seattle Seahawks, the Niners, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Broncos at home. So one of those games will be the first game of the season. I don't think they would do a division game week one. That would be a shock. So that automatically disqualifies. Yeah, I'm going with it. It disqualifies the Seahawks, the Niners, the Cardinals. So then the Panthers and the Falcons, they're in a rebuild. Do they really want the first game of the season to be the champs versus the Panthers or the Falcons? Like two teams with quarterback issues, numerous other issues. I don't see that happen. So then it narrows it down to three teams: the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Broncos. And the Cowboys make sense. It's an NFC team. They won their division last year. It makes sense on paper. The only caveat is the Cowboys did open the season last year as well. Will they do that twice in a row? Potentially. So then, would it be the Raiders, the Broncos, or the Bills? Those are the three other. Sorry, I missed the Bills because there's a little space there. But the Raiders, the Broncos, or the Bills? Raiders potentially. I think that, I don't know, with the Raiders and kind of their new star player in Devontae Adams, I don't know if they want to make that week one drama. Broncos would be interesting. Russell Wilson, he plays the Rams week one. There's potential in that. But then Buffalo Bills, a team that's really good. A lot of people thought they could have won the Super Bowl last year. They think, they just came down to that overtime loss to the Chiefs. They had the number one defense last year. They have a good offense. They have a great quarterback in Josh Allen. I think, I think that's who my guess is. If I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I'd put money on the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, so I do think it narrows it down to the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Bills. If they want to stick to the kind of more tradition where they play an NFC team, it's going to be the Cowboys again. If they don't want to give the Cowboys back-to-back season openers on the Thursday night, then it's got to be either the Raiders, the Broncos, or the Bills. All right, let's get back to your comments here. Yeah, over the Carp. Yeah. The Falcons. The Rams. Yes, CarCast newsflash. The Rams are Super Bowl champions. Let's go, Rams. Whose house? Rams' house. The Packers, we play on the road. So we wouldn't play the Packers or the Saints because we play them on the road. Yeah. Feeling pretty awesome about parting the Red Sea. Them picks. We have action. It makes our guys look like a bargain. Sneed McVay. Yeah, they're great. Absolutely, Travis. I hear you. What if the Rams? I'm not sure what you mean, what if the Rams, but what if the Rams? Pineapple 89. Hello, Ramley. Hello to you, Pineapple 89. Good to see you. We can't play the Cowboys. They played the first game. And yeah, that's the question is if I don't think the NFL would want to do that. But again, if it's the only team that makes sense and they want to stick with, it being in the NFC, it would probably be, for me, I really want it to be the Bills. I really think that would be a fun game to open the season with. Josh Allen should be united. Yeah, he should. Yeah, he should. Yeah, I would love a Bills-Rams Super Bowl. Oh, that'd be juicy. I'd love it. Do you think we signed Tyrann Mathieu after that? I do. I really do. I think, for a variety of reasons, he's waiting to sign. But I do think, maybe verbally they've agreed to something. But I do think Tyrann Mathieu will be a LA Ram next season. If the Bucs and Rams won the Super Bowl in their home stadium, will the Cards? Hey, you know what? I was talking about this with some friends. Is like, it's a lot of fun to win the Super Bowl in your home stadium. It might be just as much fun winning the Super Bowl in your division rival stadium. And so, yeah, the Arizona Cardinals are hosting the Super Bowl this year. So the expectation is on them. I don't know if they have the coaching staff to get it done. Right now, they're in a contract dispute with your quarterback, which is something you never want to be, even in the off season. So, yeah, we will see. We will see what happens with the Arizona Cardinals next year. I expect that Tyler Higbee will have a great. Yeah, well, honestly, I think we don't give Tyler Higbee enough credit. We really don't. He's a fantastic tight end. Obviously Travis Kelce and Kittle and Gronk, like guys like those, they get a lot of respect and a lot, they get talked about a lot and they make big plays. Tyler Higbee is a great tight end. He's one of the best tight ends in football right now. He just doesn't get talked about. Maybe because he's not winning your fantasy team, fantasy points, but he makes some great catches. He's great in the run game, great in the pass game. And yeah, I'm a huge Tyler Higbee fan. I'm so glad he's on our team. And I hope he's recovering well from his injury. And I expect him to have a great season as well. And again, I really liked what we saw from Kendall Blankton from our tight end group as well. Hopefully Jacob Harris can continue to develop. And this LA Rams tight end group has been solid the past couple of years. Solid. With you, Bills or Green Bay, first thing would be yeah. And again, so it can't be Green Bay, just because we play Green Bay in Lambeau. And so yeah, it like, because the first week it has to be a home opener. So I would love Green Bay to start, but because we play them on the road, we won't see them week 1 on September 8th. But yeah, I'm glad you're with me on the Bills thing. If Debo leaves the 49ers, I'm gonna say something here a little controversial. Deebo Samuel is fantastic. He's a phenomenal player. I also think Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers are like good coaching staff. I think that if they were to leave, the 49ers are still a good team. Are they a better team with Deebo Samuel? Absolutely. Are they still a competitive team without him? Yeah. Their offense might struggle. Their offense will definitely have more pressure under wide receivers like Brandon Ayuk, and Kittle, but I don't know. I'm not convinced Debo leaving doesn't, like, I don't think that makes the Niners a terrible team. I think the Niners will still be a good team. Can they win the NFC without, star players like Deebo Samuel? I don't think so. But yeah, like, that's a big loss, and it's tough to replace a player of Deebo Samuel's caliber for sure. Edwin, have you noticed how all the other teams have drama with their stars, and the Rams team, for the most part, all of our stars are just chill and cool, like Kupp? He does not want to reset the market. Yeah, I did a video on Cooper Kupp and his interview about, when he got asked about his contract, and I think that speaks well to the Rams culture. It also just speaks well to the Rams' ability to find players who have, a mindset, and I don't know if it's probably both, where it's the mindset, but also the media savvy and the PR savvy to, say you were in a contract dispute. And I think back, there was a number of years ago, Aaron Donald was in a contract dispute. And I remember the media made a big deal about it. Jalen Ramsey was in a contract kind of dispute. But even these like disputes, there was very much professionalism with them. The Rams as an organization have a track record of respecting their players' contract negotiations. And some of them maybe don't happen, as quickly as we'd like. But the reality is these are millions of dollars being negotiated. And I think that the Rams have done a great job of creating a culture where players do want to get fair value for their talent, but they're also willing to work with the team. And not a lot of teams are like that in the NFL right now. And we see that around our own division. And I'm very thankful for the Rams front office. They've done a great job of navigating these difficult conversations. But I do think it helps that the Rams do have a history of paying players. And they do have a history of, not just shoving a contract negotiation, kind of to the forefront or to the back end. They do prioritize it. And I think they're good at staying in contact and open communication with players and their agents for sure. Hey, GP Shadow, good to see you, man. How's it going? Good to see you. Oh, man, the off season. Oh, Edwin, you're saying guy. Mr. Miller's comment here. Cool. Higbee is a tight end like Kittle, Gronk. Yeah, like, again, it's a fantastic one. Yeah. Fans have to realize the NFL Aussies have life outside of football, and 49ers as a whole. Debo is not only a phenomenal athlete, he's also a father to newborn. Maybe it's a fan. Yeah, no, and Carcas, that's valid. That's very valid. We can speculate all we want about Deebo Samuel and other players' situations. But I think at the end of the day, I'm really thankful for, players and a front office that don't create PR nightmares. And that kind of is what's going on with Deebo Samuel right now to an extent. He's the number one talked about story right now in the NFL, the week of the NFL draft. So funny. Cup said, yeah, that was funny when Sean McVay said, he takes Les Snead's bike or he hides McVay's hair gel. Yeah. Cup is he's a personality. He really is. He's a personality. Am I the only one that wishes we would have worked out with Gurley? He's still my all-time favorite Rams running back. Edwin, that's high praise. That's awesome because we've had some fantastic running backs in our history. And yeah, I think every Rams fan out there wishes that Todd Gurley was still healthy, right? And it's crazy that he's not even in football right now. He's a year younger than Derrick Henry. And I saw a stat that since 2016, Todd Gurley still leads the league in touchdowns, even though he didn't play last year. And yeah, Todd Gurley was on track to have one of the greatest careers ever for a running back. And it's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate about his arthritis that came in his knee. He hasn't sent it to me yet. Yeah. But yeah, I wear an extra large, but no, he hasn't sent it to me yet. NBC scoreboard got ruined when the Super Bowl happened. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah. So Todd Gurley, he had some arthritis in his knee that was discovered kind of just before the playoffs of our 2018 campaign. And then the next year, you clearly saw the decline in that. He still had a nose for the end zone. He still had his football IQ, but he definitely lost a step. And then he had a year with the Falcons that just, again, he scored a lot of touchdowns that year, but he just he did not have he didn't have that extra burst to him. But yeah, unfortunately, Todd Gurley is still I think he's still eligible to play. I don't think he's flat out retired, but besides a couple of workouts, we didn't hear much from Todd Gurley last year, and I haven't heard anything about him this offseason. So I think he's out of football. Cooks is still, Brandon Cooks is still good. Congrats to Brandon Cooks. He just got a big deal with the Houston Texans, so happy for him. But it's definitely that the Brandon Cooks trade will always be interesting to look back on. We maybe traded him prematurely. We traded a first round pick to get him. He had a lot of concussion issues with us, and I think with the Rams they were just looking for kind of that sustainable health. But then for a second round pick, the Texans traded to get him, and he's done well with the Texans. Yeah, he scored a touchdown on us last season. Yeah. Man, Edwin Gurley on that year of Madden he's so good. So good. If you could go to one game this year, what game would you go to? Oh, Edwin, that's so hard. That is so hard. Oh, one game this year. Well, I'd want to go to a home game. I would love to go to a Rams and Niners game. That'd be cool. Or the Rams Cowboys. Really, any of the Rams Bills game would be great. The Rams Broncos, the Raiders. I would go to any of them. I would go. If I have, you're making me pick one though. I'm going to say the Rams and Bills. I'm going to say it. Yeah, Rams and Bills. That'd be really cool. It feels like the world is burning around us and we're still popping champagne. Yeah, no, it's just I posted a short today that was just me walking into an empty room as a Rams fan and being like, where'd everybody go? And the joke is that it's really only the Rams and Bucks in the NFC. But yeah, it seems like the AFC is stacked and everyone's going there, except for the Rams. We seem to be the only team in the NFC that's gearing up for a Super Bowl run again. So we're hoping. The last time I heard Gurley is when he accidentally scored a touchdown. He was not supposed to. Yeah, with the Falcons. Yeah, that was probably his last big media cycle. Yeah. Tell this to Falcons fans. Yeah, 28-3. Yeah. Let's see. Third round cornerback from Nebraska, Cam Taylor Britt is my guy. Hey, Johnny Ripple. First off, good to see you. Hello. And that's okay. So he's your draft crush. Okay, that's cool. My guy, I said him earlier. He's a tackle out of Wake Forest named Zach Tom. That's my guy. But Cam Taylor Britt, I have heard the name. Haven't looked a lot into him. But yeah, that'd be really cool. At least the Bucks for that. Yeah, at least the Bucks for that. Yeah. Well, everyone, this has been a great live stream. This has been an hour that's flown by. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I am going to end it here. I'm going to cut up a couple of the clips from this live stream and post them as standalone videos to come out later tonight and tomorrow. And, you know what? I got a couple questions here I got to take here. So, yeah, Edwin, what is your favorite Rams memorable that you have? Ooh. So I'm wearing, this is my Marshall Faulk jersey. Let me see there. So it's up there. I haven't put it up yet. I just moved here this month, and I need to get the things to put stuff up. I really love the Mickey Mouse Los Angeles Rams flag, which is cool. Years ago, I got this for my birthday from my brother. It is a St. Louis Rams ball, but I don't know. I was a little kid when I got this, so this will always have a safe spot in my heart here. Yeah, I think probably out of these, the jersey, like Marshall Faulk was just my favorite player growing up. But yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We got a couple of questions here I got to take here, so I got to. So, horns. Yeah, that's awesome, Travis. What is the worst game? Oh, the worst Rams game we watched. Oh, there's been some bad ones. Oh, you know what? I can think of a couple, but I think the one that just made me the most mad was let me just double check the date here. I don't want to make all you guys mad, because for those of you who are around at this time, you know what I'm going to be talking about. Let's see, what year was it? I just want to double check. Let's see, when did he? Okay, because it was the first year Jeff Fisher played. LA Rams. Wait, it'd be St. Louis Rams, right? St. Louis Rams. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it was October 28th, 2012. I can't believe you're going to make me relive this game here. The LA Rams were playing a home game over in London, England, against the New England Patriots. We lost 45. You know what? Here, let me share my screen here. Yeah, here it is. We lost 45-7. We scored 7 on the opening drive. It was a Chris Gibbons 50-yard pass from Sam Bradford. And I remember that was at the first drive of the game. And I remember being like, let's go Rams. Revenge on these stinking Patriots. Let's go. And at this time, I was still optimistic that Jeff Fisher was the right coach. However, quickly, the game, as you can see, got away from the Rams. And at the end of this game, it was the moment I lost all faith in Jeff Fisher as a head coach. And I still am frustrated because I'll never forget, in his press conference, he came out and he talks about how the Rams weren't built to beat a team like this. And I just remember being like, whoa, you're not built to beat a team like this? Like, what are you talking about? And it was so it was the worst excuse for losing 45-7. Like, I get if you put up a stinker, whatever. but he didn't accept responsibility himself. He didn't, he kind of dumped it on the players, but the players weren't put in a position to succeed. It was absolutely more coaching. And yeah, it was just like, it was the moment I lost faith in Jeff Fisher, and I can't believe we waited as long as we did to fire him, but I'm glad it worked out that way because we ended up getting Sean McVay, which is awesome. But yeah, just that game was such a terrible memory for me. And like the Rams offense was borderline unwatchable. Like after that first drive, when they scored that opening touchdown, I don't think they made it past midfield the rest of the game. And yeah, that was a horrible memory. And I just, even thinking about it now just brings back terrible memories. But that would be my worst game I've watched. There's been some other bad ones, but yeah. I told you that the tissue to provide cushion from bones touching was nearly gone. Yes. Yeah. You were told. Yeah. It's really sad that it went down too quickly. Yeah. I'm wearing a Marshall Faulk jersey. Johnny, my wife wears my game worn 1969 Rams NFC title game jersey when we go to games. I've gone too fast. Everyone thinks it's that's interesting. John, thank you for sharing that, Johnny. That's cool. And that's awesome, man. That's the dream. Having like a wife that goes to football games with you. You are blessed, Johnny. Bless you and your wife. I hope you enjoy going to Rams games for many years to come. I'm glad she still looks good in your jersey. Mine is Rams 49. Oh, that was, yeah, both those games were tough in the season. Those were tough. Rams and Bills, yeah, that is not far from you in Toronto. Your wall is too bare. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. Johnny, I like Zach Tom too. A little later though, 5th round. Yeah, no, like I think if we can get him, late 4th, early 5th, I think he's a good prospect. Yeah, I'll answer a couple more. Yeah, why not? You know what? People are hopping. Yeah, we'll stay on. Marshall Faulk. Yeah, Jeff Fisher was literally the worst. Love the football. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I like this thing too. Yeah. Jeff Fisher would take a bad roster and go 8-8. He would also take a great roster and go 8-8. Remember that? That's a good point, Johnny. Yep. Oh, yeah, I remember. Like the dude not being able to find his challenge. Oh, it's just he just wasn't. He wasn't a good NFL coach for the Rams. He really wasn't. I can't see you at. It happens, Grandizer. It happens. I'm human. I'm very human. What's happening, Payout Salmon Rams? Hey, LA Rams, good to see you. I love that profile pic. That's cool. Oh, friendly reminder, hit that like button, absolutely. Oh, we're almost at 15 likes. Awesome. That's two there. Well, guys, this has been a blessing. If there's no more questions, I am going to end the live stream there. I will clip a couple of the segments from this and put them as standalone videos. I want to turn your attention to the ticker at the bottom. Friendly reminder, I'm going to be talking about this all summer long. I am doing a charity 8-hour live stream the day of September 8th, which will be the Rams home opener. I'm going to do the watch party for the game as the final kind of 3 hours of it. But before then, we're going to be bringing on some guests. I'm not ready to quite announce the charity yet, just because I'm finalizing a partnership with them. But we are going to be raising money to fight food insecurity. So we're going to be talking football to fight food insecurity around the world. It's going to be a great cause. I hope each of you will come out. I would love it if you would donate, but also if you would that day share my stream when we're ready for that, because we're gonna try and raise some money to help people. We're gonna try and start this season off with a win on the field, but also a win in terms of helping some people out as well. But see, they asked you a bad question. Now you're sad. Please don't make. No, I'm not sad. No, not upset at all. Liam Jimmins, Jalen McKenzie from USC are off offensive lineman in there. Okay, interesting. Names to look out for sure. Well, guys, that is going to do it for me. I thank you all so much for tuning in. You're all wonderful people. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams! Woo! Oh, I hit a high note there. Woohoo!